Hi everyone, and welcome to Cooking with Cricket. This recipe is dedicated to my good friend Anna, who sent me a text this morning. I was planning on cooking pork chops anyway, and she asked did I have a good recipe for pork chops in the crock pot. So I sent her my honey glazed pork recipe where I cook the pork loin in the oven, but I'm like, you know what, I'm going to cook it in the crock pot, change it up just a little bit, and we'll see how it turns out. So in my pressure cooker, which has the slow cooker function, I have 7 pork chops in there, and they're about almost an inch thick. So let's get the sauce that I'm going to pour on it. In my bowl, I have a half of a cup of packed brown sugar. I'm going to pour 3/4 of a cup of soy sauce, 1/3 of a cup of honey, and in my honey glazed pork I use scallions. I don't have those, so I'm just using a tablespoon of dried minced onion, 1 heaping teaspoon of my dried parsley, 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper, and then I have 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. I'm going to add that in. I'm not adding salt yet because of the soy sauce. We're going to give this a good mix. Now I'm just going to pour this over the pork chops. Now I'm going to set mine to slow cook for around 6 hours. My pork chops are frozen. It might take longer. This only has one choice of slow cook, so if you're using another type of crock pot, you could put this on low cook all day, or for high cook for around 4 hours or until it's done. Make sure it's on exhaust. And I'm going to set it for 6 hours. I'll check on it periodically, and I'll bring you back then. It's been nearly 2 hours, so I'm just going to open it up, check on it, and see how it's doing. It's smelling good. Separate the pork chops. Get it all down in that sauce. And I will continue to check on them and stir them around a little bit. Now let me finish letting it cook. Oh, and since I like teriyaki sauce, I am going to add just a little bit in there. Like maybe a couple of tablespoons. You know, cooking sometimes can be just trial and error. I'll be back later to check on them. Alright, our pork chops are done. I want to add that I forgot to add some balsamic vinegar. So I did add 3 tablespoons, around 3 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. Now I'm going to take them out and give them a try. But I am going to strain the juice through a pretty fine mesh strainer because it doesn't look appetizing the way that it is. And I'm going to let that cook down just a little bit and wait till the rest of my supper's done, and I'll show you the sauce once I get it strained. Here are the pork chops, and see, let me see if you can see it. All that and the fat and all floating in there, that just don't look appetizing. So let me get that strained, and then I'll be back to try it, the pork chop. I'm going to just wrap these up and keep these warm till the rest of my supper gets done. See what we strained out of there? You know, that just don't look appetizing. So I'm just going to let this cook, simmer, reduce a little bit, taste it, test it for seasoning, and let me try the pork chop real quick. Tastes pretty good to me. I'll be back when everything gets ready. Alright, when I strained my the juices and stuff, I just adjusted it. Now this is a sweet type sauce, so if you don't like it that sweet, reduce the brown sugar and honey. But the pork chops are just fall apart tender. But I let the sauce simmer for about 15 minutes. I did add a little bit more soy sauce and teriyaki sauce. And I did add a teaspoon of cornstarch with a couple of teaspoons of water and mix that in there. You don't have to do that. But now I'm going to try it. I love it. I really do. Now I just made some seasoned roasted potatoes and a simple little salad. And made some homemade biscuits for supper. Going on vacation, I just want to kind of use up what we have at the house. So anyway, Anna, let me know if you make it. And I hope you enjoy. Bye, y'all.